Hello everyone, and welcome to Noodle Journey, your destination for detailed and informative reviews of the instant noodle universe. Today's review is something that was recommended to me by a viewer, and I've been dying to squeeze it into my review queue, so that is happening today. This is Yumei's Henan Noodle Original Soup. Before we begin, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this content. So yeah, this variety came pretty strongly recommended from a viewer whose opinion I trust. And I checked it out on yumei.com, and I really liked the images of the product. Like, you can see these broad noodles here. These look awesome. And in fact, we have never had broad noodles that look like these on this channel before, so I'm super excited to try something like this. So one of the last times I ordered from yumei.com, which is my current favorite online retailer for noodles, I grabbed this 4-pack for $7.99. And you may spot this at your local Asian market. See what I did there? If they carry Yumei products. Otherwise, check out Yumei or other online sites that sell Chinese noodles. Now, from what I've been able to gather, Yumei is a Chinese company, and they don't exclusively sell noodles. They've got a wide range of products, including snacks, sauces, bagged vegetables, and even self-heating hot pots. And I am itching to try a self-heating hot pot one day, but they are incredibly wasteful, so I haven't committed to it yet. Leave me some comments if you'd like to see one. For now, this is the only product of theirs that I have to review. They also make a spicy version of this that comes with different dried vegetables, which I will probably track down if this review goes well. Now, as for what kind of soup this style of soup comes from the Chinese province of Henan and is called huimian. Wikipedia tells me that ingredients in this soup vary from place to place, but that typically it's made from lamb bones and Chinese herbs. So basically a delicate herby beet broth paired with these extra wide noodles, which are made from wheat and kneaded and hand-pulled into this flat, chewy form. Huimian actually dates all the way back to the Tang Dynasty, over 1,200 years ago. So here in this version, obviously, we won't have real lamb since it's an export product from Asia, but the label does promise an herb-forward broth with some really interesting dried ingredients that you'll see in a minute. Now, the sodium count for a single pack of these is 2,200 milligrams. So if you have sodium issues, watch out for these. All right, inside of the big pack, we've got 4 of these individually wrapped packages. And inside each one of those individual packs, we've got these wonderful looking air-dried broad wheat noodles. We've got a packet of oil, we've got a packet of soup with salt and soy sauce and spices. It doesn't say on the package what specifically. And then we've got a vegetable pack containing fungus, Chinese wolfberry, coriander, carrot, and daylily. So yeah, that means edible flowers. This is all super interesting. Coriander is cilantro, which I have a good old genetic aversion to when it's fresh. So with it being dehydrated in here, it should be fine for me. I promise not to complain about it unless it's overpowering. So I'm gonna go get this cooked right now because I am very excited to try all this. All right. Here we go. And this looks simple, but it does smell really great. The noodles came apart pretty easily. The oil on the package just says it's a plain old sesame oil, but there's actually a lot more going on with it than just that. There's definitely some star anise in it. So that kind of enters this into the realm of, Chinese 5-spice territory as far as the flavor profile goes. The soup base itself has a super interesting aroma that I'm really dying to taste. But my chief complaint right now, and it's very unfortunate, the back of the package very specifically says the dehydrated vegetable bag contains fungus, wolfberry, daylily, coriander, carrot. The carrot appears to be accurate, possibly the coriander, but there is not a single piece of wolfberry anywhere to be found in this. And quite frankly, I don't know what a daylily is supposed to look like, but I kind of think that the dried vegetable packet that comes with the spicy version of this noodle soup is now in this noodle soup, and the ingredients list has not been updated to reflect that. So I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed that this doesn't seem to be the vegetable pack that's advertised on the packaging. I'm not saying it's not going to be good, but it's a little bit of a bait and switch here if you don't update your packaging when you change your recipe. All right, this still smells really good. Let's give it a try. Ooh, this is super interesting. All right, let's get to the noodle score first. You can probably guess how this is going to go. These are dynamite noodles. Nice and thick and hearty. Wonderful chew on them. Just everything I love about Chinese noodles in this one awesome broad shape. So 10 out of 10 for the noodles. These are terrific. As I mentioned back in the introduction, there is a spicy version of this. That means this is a not spicy version at all. Don't worry, no hidden chili pepper. So 0 out of 10 on my spiciness scale. And so the overall flavor of this. Somehow, if the ingredients are to be believed, they've managed to get a super meaty, almost gamey artificial meat flavor into this. It's comfortingly salty. It's got some nice backbone from the vegetable packet and the star anise that I tasted in the oil. And that oil also added a nice little bit of extra body to the texture of the broth. It may look simple, like you may look at this and be like, oh yeah, that's chicken broth with carrots. But it's not. There's a lot more going on here than you would expect just by looking at this. As far as other flavors I'm detecting, there's a little bit of onion, possibly some garlic, not veering too strongly in either direction. It really is, as advertised, a delicate but meaty, herby broth. I'm enjoying it. My disappointment comes from the fact that the vegetable packet is not what it is supposed to be. It's not what it says it is on the package. It just appears to be carrots, scallions, and cabbage. And I find that very unfortunate because I think if this had had all the promised Chinese herbs like wolfberry and daylily in it, then this would have been a much cooler recommendation to my viewers who've never seen this style of soup before. Like, hey, you've never had wolfberry? Go out and buy this. It's cool. So, yeah. I love the noodles. I love the broth. I hate that the packaging is inaccurate and that this is not the recipe that it's supposed to be. So, in the interest of fairness for what this is rather than what it isn't, it tastes great. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now, if the dried vegetables were as advertised, probably an 8.5 out of 10. This would have been a much stronger showing because it would have been a much more unique product. So yeah, still worth seeking out if you enjoy all the flavors I've described, but watch out because the packaging is very inaccurate. So look, despite the vegetables being all wrong, this was still a pretty neat product. One of the perks of doing this channel is finding new stuff I've never heard of before, and this certainly was something I might not have even looked at twice, if not for a great recommendation. Putting aside the vegetable issue, the broth is super flavorful. You can pair almost any meat and additional vegetable combination you want with it. Like you could definitely throw some leftover chicken or roast beef in this, maybe an egg. The original Chinese version of this recipe, I believe, does use quail egg. You can throw some fresh cilantro in here if that's your thing. And if you feel like you would enjoy a meaty, herby flavor profile, then you should absolutely give this a try. Now, once I work my way through the rest of this pack, I will definitely be buying the spicy one for a review, and I will be on the lookout for other stuff made by Yumei too. If their other products exhibit this kind of quality, and I mean from an ingredient perspective, not from a packaging QA perspective, then they are definitely a brand to check out. So with that, I'm going to sign off. As always, leave me some comments if you tried this, or if you have other recommendations from Yumei. I would love to hear about your experiences. I hope to see you next time on Noodle Journey.